It's been a hot minute since I played this. Why not one more? Yeah, let's go for it. Very hard, and no powers. That was the idea at first anyway, because I was under the impression that you could choose the Outsider's Mark or not. Also, I'm gonna kill people. He ends up feeling bad for killing guards in the very first mission.
Oh, if only there was someone else I trusted to send, so that you could remain near. But there is no one else, and the Spy Master was right to insist that I send you. The plague has taken so many, and we must find a cure. When you are near, my heart is at peace. Emily and I will count the days until you return. Hurry home, and bring good news.
Steady hand. That's it. Watch it.
Cast off line.
Casting off. We're away. Take us straight to Dunwall Tower. Lord Corvo has news for the Empress, and we've come a long way.
A long way to bring bad news. The sailors say there's a curse on us. Black magic.
Superstition. For all we know, there's a cure for the plague by now.
Maybe. We live in strange times. Sending the Empress's bodyguard away for a couple of months. That's unusual.
Well, this was important. We need help with the rat plague. Ho there! We're going up.
I forget exactly what I was doing while I was away.
Turning on the pipes, and she's rising.
Home at last.
It's nice to be playing something again that I'm familiar with. Although this time it's going to be a much different experience.
The Empress will be waiting for your news, Corvo.
I'm going to get my ass kicked.
It's been good traveling with you, Corvo.
It's been good traveling with you. I'm going to turn subtitles on. All speeches. Because who doesn't want to hear the randos in the background talking, right?
You know what?
Welcome back, Lord Protector.
Thank you.
Have you ever met my niece Callista? She's getting more beautiful every year. I'll be happy you're back with the Watch. I'm no diplomat.
Neither am I. What about you, pal?
Fair voyage, sir?
Yes.
All quiet out here.
Good.
The Empress will be in the pavilion when you're ready.
Alright.
There he is. Good voyage, sir.
Yeah, you could say that. Saw some whales.
Sokolov fiddled with the hydraulics, and it runs like a dream now. Highest water lock in the Empire, they say.
Not sure how a waterlock can do drugs.
Corvo, you're back! Will you tell me about your trip, please? Were there any whales?
Yes.
Great! Let's play hide and seek first. I'll cover my eyes and you hide. You have time? Mother's busy talking to that nasty old spy master.
How can I say no to that face?
Okay, here we go. Later, will you give me more climbing lessons? Someday I'm going to climb up to the rooftop. Did you see any monsters while traveling to the other isles? My nanny says the big ocean is full of them, but I think she only says that to scare me.
You're a perceptive kid, ain't ya?
Let's see if you're still good at this. I'll hide my eyes and count, and at the end of the countdown, I'll try and find you. Okay, I'm going to count to 10. Find a place to hide. 2,
She'll never find me.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here I come. What about here?
Where?
Where are you?
I'm not telling.
Okay, you win. We should go now, so Mother can see you too. Run with me! Later, will you show me that Tivian chokehold like you promised? I won't tell Mother.
Okay.
Corvo, if you won't marry my mother, would you marry me?
No.
Mother told me that your trip was important. She's been worried.
Welcome home, Lord Protector.
Hey.
Stop moving, Campbell. And you, Corvo, welcome back. From wherever you've been.
They sent him all around the Isles to beg for aid.
A waste of time.
Oh.
My elixir will banish the plague from this city. Now keep still a moment, High Overseer Campbell.
I'm not so sure that painting looks like Campbell.
It's close.
You saw my improvements to the waterlock.
Yes.
I do my duty for the realm, but not gladly.
Oh. Well, do you want something else, Anton?
I must preserve our High Overseer for future generations of the faithful to marvel at.
Okay. I hope you succeed.
I'm sure the Empress is eager to see you. Eh, Corvo?
Maybe. I don't know.
See what I'm forced to paint. The High Overseer is no beauty.
Oh, come on. He's not that bad. Oh. You know what? Never mind. Maybe Emily had a point.
In this painting, I insult my own genius.
Really? The painting itself looks great, I'd say.
I leave the worst parts of him in shadow, but still.
Indeed, I believe so.
Did you see any pirates?
Yes.
They're sick people, not criminals.
We've gone beyond that question, Your Majesty.
They're my citizens, and we will save them from the plague if we can. All of them.
Very well.
We will not speak of this again.
That's April Stewart as the Empress.
Mother, Corvo is back.
Thank you, Emily. Leave us,
From
please.
one of the
As
South
you
Park
wish,
movies.
Your Majesty.
Wendy Tetzeberger? I'm not a South Park person.
2 days early. Full of surprises, as usual.
I wonder who the main villain's gonna be.
Take me with you on a trip one day, please.
Follow me,
Maybe I will.
Captain. We should
If
leave
you're
them
good.
alone.
Mother's going to be happy. She missed you. Everyone seems scared because of the rat plague. I'm glad you're here.
There.
It's a fair wind that brings you home to me. What news have you brought?
Nothing good.
I hoped that one of the other cities had dealt with this before. Knew of some cure. This news is very bad. We're at the breaking point. Cowards. They're going to blockade us. They'll wait to see if the plague turns the city into a graveyard.
Are you okay, Mother? You seem sad.
Yes, don't worry, darling. Mother is fine. Wait, where are the guards? Who sent them away?
Mother, look! What are they doing on the rooftop?
What? Emily, come here! Emily, get behind me! Look out! Another one! Corvo, thank you. If you hadn't been here... No more! Not again!
Mommy!
No! Get away from her! Corvo!
Did you just smack the Empress in the face?
Mommy!
Oh, that's worse.
Get away! Corvo!
Corvo, it's all coming apart. Find Emily. Protect her. You're the only one. You'll know what to do. Won't you? Corvo.
Ward us all. Look at what he's done.
I didn't do
Yes,
that.
he's killed the Empress.
You have no proof of that.
What did you do with young Lady Emily, traitor?
I didn't do
Your own
anything.
bodyguard. Ironic.
I'll see you beheaded for this, Corvo. Peg him.
When I find the chance, I am gonna rip your nuts off and put them where your right eye should be. Order shall prevail.
This is
Not right now, it won't.
Corvo. Sign the confession, and let me give you the rights to put your spirit at ease.
Lying is a sin. Why would I sign a confession to a crime I didn't commit?
That's enough for now. Get out. Let's give the man some time to think. Corvo, the Empress is dead. Her daughter Emily is hidden away, and no one will ever know the truth.
Yes, unlucky you. Tomorrow you'll be executed, but it's for a good cause. This country needs strong leadership now, someone to guide the weak, and that's where we come in.
There was nothing personal in this, even though you almost sank our plans. But it turned out well. You were in the wrong place at the right time, and someone has to take the fall. Goodbye, Corvo. Guards! Take him back to his cell.
It's funny they talk about protecting the weak when they're trying to cover up everything that they've done. You can't call yourself strong when you're also being cowards. Corvo, who we are is irrelevant right for now. Just know that we have faith in you. Here's the key to your cell. Once you're out, head for the prison's interrogation room. Take the explosive there and plant it on the outer door. When the bomb goes off, make a run for the river, and lose yourself in the sewers. You'll find some useful gear stashed there. One of the prison guards will leave a weapon just outside your cell. Good luck. We need you alive and well for what's to come. A friend. Sweet.
Hey, don't you owe me a drink? I don't need shit from you.
What are you guys talking about?
How come so many people are coming to the execution tomorrow?
There ain't no way I'd steal from the Boyle family. I just worked on their roof.
Killed the Empress and abducted her.
I believe you.
Curse those rich milk bloods for putting me here.
Right.
Yeah, school.
Social event for the high
I shouldn't be here. Now I'm gonna die for nothing.
Sucks, doesn't it?
I don't belong here. I never did nothing. She lied.
Who's she? With a sword in hand, assassinate an unaware enemy by pressing R2. Or approach them from behind and press R1 to perform a non-lethal takedown. Using stealth and the non-lethal approach has its benefits. Fewer rats and weepers, some people react favorably, and the final outcome is not as dark. Why would more rats appear just because I killed people? Well, dead bodies attract rodents, I guess, so yeah, that checks out. But still.
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch.
You're out. Good for you.
cut some throats. Scheduled in advance with 1 week's notice.
Should I? Or would that be the bad thing to do?
Let me out. I've got 3 days before they cut my head off.
I'd love to help, but I can't. The game won't let me.
Tell Slackjaw I'm in here. He's gotta get me out.
I don't know who Slackjaw is at the moment.
Hey, kill a guard for me, will ya?
What's the magic word?
Burn this place to the ground.
Well, I'm gonna plant an explosive later, so I'll do that. Yeah, I'm gonna commit to death.
Attention. Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to the personnel assigned to the event and approved dignitaries only.
Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna kill every other guard. He kills every guard in this chapter, but none afterwards.
Wind or something.
How about that? Maybe the wind or something? Seriously? I think what I want to do most is get a middle way ending. Not the dark ending, not the happy ending either, but somewhere in the middle. I'm pretty sure that's possible.
Hey, bug someone. Huh?
Oh.
Ha! Eat! Get around him! You gotta
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews unless
Well,
accompanied
I've been
by an
caught.
officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be.
You know what? I'm just gonna keep going.
With 1 week's notice.
There have been so many times where I would get caught in these games and I would load my previous save because I didn't want to have that on my record. But you know what? We're just gonna keep going. Oh crap.
Watch him!
Attention. Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to the personnel assigned to the event and
Maybe for every other mission I can kill people. And maybe that'll do the trick. I do want to avoid rats. If I can avoid the problem of rats and weepers showing up, then I'd like to do that. Maybe next time in the future, don't tell us you're going to commit to something and then not do it. It's hard to say whether I prefer this game or Dishonored 2. I think they're both great.
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to
Yard key needed.
unless
Is that something I can
accompanied
actually
by an
get,
officer
though?
of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance with 1 week's
Now that door just can't be opened at this time. Does that mean that there is a time that it can be opened? Here's where I was being tortured. It was wonderful. Corvo Tano, formerly the Royal Protector, will be brought in for interrogation. This is of utmost importance. Lord Regent and High Overseer Campbell will conduct the questioning themselves. Follow their orders without hesitation, and keep the torturer under control. If Corvo dies in his hands, instead of getting the public execution the Lord Regent wants, it'll be your head that rolls next. Yeah. That just makes me think of Sleepy Hollow. Heads will roll.
Corvo's unconscious again. Though he's taken more punishment than the 2 men we brought in for interrogation. When he wakes, we'll start again. Having him sign the confession for her murder isn't critical, but it might be useful to us later. The assassination of an empress is not a trivial matter.
So then why'd you do it? Are you stupid or something? Once a child shows the proper inclination, he is marked. Overseers are assigned to study the subject surreptitiously in order to determine whether this inclination is supported by cosmological conditions and other signs ongoing throughout the year. At the end of the cycle, those befitting further testing are removed from their homes some hours before dawn and must begin the march to an outpost outside the city. There, the children undergo ritual preparation and evaluation until the last night of the month of rain, when they make a pilgrimage to White Cliff. During an elaborate ceremony, it is determined which of the children will become overseers and which must be put down. What the hell is wrong with you people? What do you think this is? The Dark Ages? That's something I surprisingly forgot to touch upon. The sound effects. Music to my ears, in addition to the actual music.
You lazy slug. Did you patrol the yard?
Sorry, not yet. I was gonna report that boiler leak from yesterday. Forget it. Just do your rounds. The report's trouble for both of us. I'm moving. Huh? What the fuck? Sands, help! Flank him! Just dump! Dump you in the river!
I'm a bit rusty.
Attention. Tomorrow's
This does feel wrong.
will be restricted to the personnel assigned to the event and approved dignitaries only. Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance.
Being a fugitive sounds cool.
How many people did he kill on his way out of the prison? I guess if you'll kill the Empress, you don't care about a few guards.
Shut up. Look at this stuff. Somebody's been down here.
Bottle Street gang, maybe. Watch for booby traps.
Well, let them know those guys. This body doesn't belong here. Uh-oh. Maybe it did. No, look at this sad sight. Amanda and I only had enough coin to buy half the elixir we needed. Even that's all gone now. Then there's nothing to do but wait. We're very sick, and there's no place above to hide from the City Watch. They're breaking into houses all over our district. So we'll stay here and share the last hours together. Our fire will keep the rats away, but they'll inherit the city. A cold, dead heart. Almost felt something. Not for this guy. Get out of here. These lanterns are very interesting. It's like magic smoke. Tin of potted whale meat. Is that something I can actually eat? What does whale taste like?
aren't we supposed to load the bodies in the carts headed to the flooded district?
Yeah, screw that. That's too far. I don't want to catch the plague, do you?
No. Doesn't the elixir prevent it?
Maybe. Either way, let's just dump them down there. Let the rats eat them.
Sorry, gentlemen. But my body matters more than yours.
Attention, Dunwall citizens. The assassin Corvo, responsible for the murder of our fair Empress, and the disappearance of Lady Emily, heir to the throne, has temporarily escaped state custody. Several brave
Temporarily escaped? Nah, I'm out of here, dog.
He is to be captured or killed at any cost.
Like, it's over. You guys are all fired. I like throwing things. Oh. Should have moved out of the way. Yes, that would have been smart. Oh, that's what the skull is for. Okay. Who the heck is leaving all their wallets over the place? And just loose change. Thanks for the coin. Goodbye. You go in the water too. It's funny. Greetings, Corvo. Or should I say Lord Protector. As you were known before that title was wrongfully taken from you. We are servants of the Empire and the true Empress. Global loyalists who want very much to meet you. Take these weapons, crafted for you of the finest materials in the Isles, and meet with our man Samuel, near where these tunnels spill into Wrenhaven River. All haste and luck. We share a common purpose. Is that kind of sword possible? Hemlock essence? Worth 20 coin. Another tripwire. Stay over here? Oh. I'm always wrong. Jelly. In case you're too daft to remember, look to your whiskey for the answer. Whiskey. Got it? If you want your share, you'll sort it out. If not, I'll come back for it next month. Look to your whiskey, you say? Alright, well, where's this whiskey? Ah, here it is. And they're all empty! Dang it, Jelly! 451. You have all these whiskey bottles just sitting on this shelf and they're all empty? You drank all of it? Oh. I went too far. Now I wonder how that other guy's gonna feel.
He won't get past me, sir. Do you know who we're hunting here? Don't try to take him out alone.
But what if no one from the squad is around?
Then try to make a lot of noise when you die. Knock something over if you can.
Hey, what was that? I know I heard something. Murder!
Oh, you made the mistake of wearing no helmet.
Attention, Dunwall citizens. The assassin Corvo, responsible for the murder of our fair Empress and the disappearance of
I didn't do it.
heir to the throne, has temporarily escaped state custody. Several
You've already said this.
Corvo, over here. I'm Samuel, and I work for some good people who want very much to meet you. Well, they said you'd come out here. I can still hardly believe it. I'll take you to meet them. Just down the river from here.
Alright, let's go. High chaos. Oh boy. I'm starting to feel bad about my choices.
This is the Hound Pit's pub. Closed for business. Half the district marked off as dead from the plague. We're right under the Lord Regent's nose, and he don't know a thing. Of course, if anyone finds out what we're up to, the Watch will break in with swords drawn. And now that you've escaped, the Lord Regent's going to be tearing the city apart. I'll take you up to meet Admiral Havelock and the rest of the Loyalists. The Admiral's a man to be reckoned with. If anyone can help you find that missing girl, Lady Emily, and clear your name, he can. I expect they're hard at work in there. Best join them. They'll help you get whoever really killed the Empress. I'm sure the Admiral is anxious to meet you. It wasn't easy getting you here. I wouldn't hang about if I were you. From what I understand, time's getting short.
So it's starting at last, Admiral. We've found our man.
We can continue this later, Lord Pendleton. The man of the hour is here. Corvo, I'm Admiral Havelock. A true servant of the Empire, like you. Until the Lord Regent purged those of us who wouldn't recognize his claim on the throne.
And I'm Lord Trevor Pendleton. I represent the nobility in our little group. But we all act as equals here at the Hound Pit's pub.
This is a momentous occasion, Corvo. I'm going to come out with it. We've been building a coalition of loyalists, aimed at ending the Lord Regent's tyranny and restoring the throne.
At risk of execution, we're committed to finding young Lady Emily and seeing her crowned as Empress.
We've got big plans, but we can't do any of it without you. We need your skills, your ability in a fight, and in helping us, we're going to help you destroy the men who murdered the Empress.
Sorry, you must be exhausted. We can discuss this further after you've recovered. But before you retire, you should introduce yourself to Piero. He's challenging at times, but his industrious mind buys him that right.
Yes, Piero's as much an artist as a technician. He's going to be crafting the gear you'll need. Go talk to him, and then get some sleep. We can talk more when you've rested. Good to have you with us, Corvo. Nothing against the others, but there's no substitute for a man who's done his service for the crown. Have you talked to Piero yet? He made the weapons we left for you on your way out of Coleridge Prison. Go see him when you can. You don't know what it means to work with a man who stood at the Empress's right hand. We can't bring her back, but at least we have the man she trusted most. Piero still wants a word with you. He's not a diplomat, but he's a brilliant man. Samuel is a blessing. Without him, we couldn't navigate the waters of the river at night. We keep our lights low to avoid prying eyes. What I wouldn't give to be back at sea. I told them I'd be damned if I sail under a usurper's flag. You should have seen their faces. Curse the Lord Regent.
He does seem like a dick.
I might have taken to piracy after the Navy, but then inspiration struck me, and I started assembling our little group here. The Empire was built on its Navy. Never forget that. I served proudly until the bureaucrats took over.
Damn bureaucrats.
Pendleton's a good man. Used to be close to that snake, the Lord Regent himself. Don't be fooled by the fact that Pendleton's a noble, though. Not all of them are terrible.
Okay.
I bought this bar years ago. There were some happy times here before the plague hit the city. Before the Empress was killed and everything went to shit. We'll make it right again, together.
I'll be crafting your weapons and gear. All custom work. For you, I will create the tools of a master assassin. No! This cannot happen now the tank of whale oil's run out. Will you get a new tank from upstairs, please, while I hold this in place? Be careful. The oil's unstable. When it explodes, there's a terrible mess.
You got it, Belle. Apparently that's Brad Dourif. I had no idea until now. Remarkably, each specimen I had the pleasure of studying during the voyage possessed some minor variants of physiology. On the second leg of the trip, east of Tibia, the crew hauled aboard a female, some 42 in length. I estimate she weighed 35 tons, and the ship sat low, rocking side to side through the night with her thrashing. By candlelight, I took her apart, sketching and taking notes. Against her bellowing, I cut into the mass of tentacles around her mouth. Within, I found row upon row of teeth, and a baleen running along the upper jaw. This is broom-like structure. I assume she filtered food from the water that was too small to be chewed. What's a baleen? Commissioned by the Lord Regent in the face of growing plague crisis, the dead counter is a position that will only be given to officers, usually of junior or middle grades. In most matters of edict or curfew enforcement, these officers will defer to the acting officer on duty. However, any dead counter will have command in situations related to the plague and the handling of the dead, including those with late-stage plague symptoms, called weepers in common parlance. Starting in the month of rain, interested officers may apply for the test, and, if accepted, for the 2-week training tour. Pay will be administered in coin and rations of elixir, at 1 1/2 normal pay grade. Of course, I have attempted to improve one of Saklov's designs. Of course. And why not? After all, it is likely that his thinking was influenced in some small way by our time together at the Academy. We're all a part of community, striving to unknot the mysteries of the cosmos. Even those among us who possess the greatest minds are often led to a fruitful line of consideration by, how does one say, our intellectual subordinates. Solokolov is no exception to this, despite the glamour of genius he has cast over the aristocracy. And further, it is true that many of my experiments have failed. No need to gossip about it behind my back in your social clubs and in the varying chambers of the Academy itself. Great ambition requires risk. You may laugh now at my door to nowhere, but someday you will not. Your children will likely see it as commonly as you see electric lamps lighting our streets at night. But a few short years ago, you would have laughed at Sokolov's arc pylon, or wall of light. Your laughter, your condescending smiles, they are nothing but evidence of your own limited imagination. Sokolov no longer has the upper hand with regards to supplies of whale oil. The good admiral has paid for the installation of my own system, which will enable me to work this place. The oil tank dispenser, when activated, will produce an empty vessel for filing. When the empty tank is held near the oil tank refill pump, the magnetic attractor should take the tank and lock it in the correct configuration. Using the lever will begin the refilling process. Once the refilling process is completed, the tank can be removed and placed in service. Extreme caution must be used in handling the full tanks. They are quite unstable. The system is sound and well engineered. It appears the Greaves Oil Company has done something correctly for once. So normally they're dumb. Did I read this one? I don't think. Out at sea, they secure the beast with hooks, with lines cast from the main ship and from several smaller boats. Bayous keep the whale from diving deep. Once it's caught, a larger hook is driven through the tail, which is used to hoist the creature up through the chute. They moan and bellow for some time as the men get them out the deck, then lift them into the scaffolding overhead. The ship adjusts its prow and returns to Pardon Dunwell, where the crew works on the great creature, slicing off the fattest parts while it still lives. Okay, why not kill it first? Put it out of its misery.
The Academy teaches that absurd idea that the energy in whale oil arises from the need to maintain life functions at extreme ocean depths. The pressure and the cold are too much to endure without it. I speculate that a human being might, by a process of adaptation, produce high-energy humors in the body. I could build a tank that would slowly increase pressure on a subject over a long period of time, and then observe them for years if need be, to see if the formulation of energetic substances develop. Surely the Empress would be able to furnish me with facilities subject to the necessary legal amnesty.
We'll see. Well, actually we won't, because she's dead.
Perfect. Now plug it in. Jet? Perfect. Thank you, Cole. Here, see? The assassin's mask. You're a wanted man, so everyone in the city knows your face, but this mask will mean terror to them. If you just hold still, the fit must be precise. There. Can you see normally? Send the lens out of alignment. There. Better now? I could create more for you. Upgrades for your gear, weapons, munitions. But our situation here is desperate. Scavenge the city for valuables and I will resell them on the black market. That should give us the money to craft the things you need. Tell me what I can make for you.
Yeah, let's have a look. I'd certainly like to magnify my view. And upgrade my accuracy. Why not? Yeah, give me a grenade. I want to blow people up.
You must be exhausted. I advise that you get some sleep. Your life will get even more difficult soon. You should rest while you can.
I'd like to look around for a while before I head down.
Very well. You know best. Let me know if you need anything more.
Why is it that whale oil is so unstable? What's making it explode? No, I will not sign off these purchases. A bag of powdered crystal, Tivian ore. What's wrong with the metals from Gristle? King Sparrow feathers. If you need feathers, sacrifice your own pillow. Maybe at the Academy everything you needed was paid for by the tariff and handed out willy-nilly, but this is my bar, or what's left of it, and we're operating on a budget. We're running low on oil, food, elixir, building materials, and everything else, so you've got to slow down. While I'm footing the bill, I will not approve your purchases unless they're absolutely required. No more copper wire or special herbs. If you need those things, go out and scavenge them. Half the city is in ruins, so no one is going to miss any of the odd crap you need to see. You seem to need. It is through no fault of my own that the average citizen has expressed a preference for Sokolov's elixir over my formula, sold as Piero's Remedy, a name I did not choose if you must know the truth. The public has spoken its usual meshes of idiocy, spending their coin as a means of selecting Sokolov's formula over mine, which I believe to be equal, if not superior. Much has been made over the popularity of these concoctions as a means of resisting this remarkable new plague. I say remarkable because this strain works with an efficiency we have not seen in the history of the Empire. This plague, now making its way through the city of Dunwall, is unrivaled in its effectiveness. I've studied it within the blood of those so afflicted, and it is nearly perfect. Elegant, in fact. And while it is true that Piero's remedy and Sokolov's elixir are known to protect the body against the plague equally, my own has properties, not fully understood, which relate to the mind itself and the spirit. And it is in this way that my formula wins out. Here is where one should pay attention to this contest, for you see, Sokolov's elixir, with its emphasis on the brute animal body, is a crass goo, better suited for livestock. The subtle and secret variant in the key ingredients making up Piero's remedy ensure that it works on a higher functions that separate humankind from the mindless blue-jawed hagfish swimming in the Wrenhaven River. This dude is starting to sound like the Riddler. What next? Are you going to try and tell us that you're smarter than Batman? One of the advantages of Sokolov's technologies is that they share the same magnetic socket for the tanks of processed whale oil they use as fuel. When a tank is exhausted, another can be plugged into place with ease, and the process is simple enough that any common workman or even the lower government of City Watch can handle the task. This applies to the arc pylon and wall of light security systems, as well as the powered carriages used for transport by those few who are wealthy enough to afford them. The only obvious downside of Sokolov's designs is the volatility of the tanks themselves. A few incidents have occurred, resulting in the damage to property or bodily harm whenever one of the tanks has exploded. Okay, Piero, I'll give you that. So how about you do it? How about you make some kind of thing of whale oil that doesn't explode in somebody's face? Show me that you're good at it. Go ahead. Right now. Damn.
Attention Dunwall citizens. Be advised, the river crust infestation has spread downriver as far as the river mouth and flooded district. Do not attempt to approach or destroy a river crust. Any items recovered from doing so are considered state property.
I beg to differ. That's still my property.
I once served under Admiral Havelock. Captain Havelock then. I don't know if he remembers me, but I fear it's rude to ask. I don't want to embarrass him.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be rude. And if he ends up being embarrassed, then, you know, that's not your fault.
I was just a common riverman, hauling parcels and such along the river. But I know how to keep my trap shut, I do.
Cool. I don't like a snitch.
This is about as far downriver as I care to go. Toward the flooded district, the river's thick with corpses. I've seen battles in my younger years, and I see you've got the stuff. Say the word, and I'll back you. All of the little people in the city like me, we miss the Empress something terrible. And the fact that young Lady Emily is out there somewhere still lost, it's just too much for most folks to think about.
You don't mind if I take that, do you? Is this your shack? At the Academy of Natural Philosophy, they speak of the Appendicean continent as a place of wonder, where all the life has been entwined and blossomed across eons, producing a vibrant ecology unrivaled in the civilized world. The overseers from the Abbey of the Everyman, by contrast, talk of horrors and heresies, of cults of sub-men engaged in brutal, perverse rituals. The few who have traveled far continent and come back to the Isles, those who have actually touched the soil there, have returned with notes that describe vast deserts, deep jungles, and outlandish creatures that defy belief. Once in a generation, a great effort is mounted to build a colony there, in the hopes of this someday growing into a port city to rival Dunwall itself. But to date, these attempts have all ended in madness and failure.
That's something that we haven't done in these games yet, is go to Pandyssia. That's where Corvo grew up.
So this is the Tivian ore that I've heard so much about, in that one line of text. It's worth 20 coin. Okay.
You've met Piero. Good. You'll want to get some rest now. You'll be needed soon.
Not yet.
Lord Pendleton's servant, Wallace, awaits you upstairs. He can show you to your chambers. Sleep well.
Oh, okay. Goodbye. Thought maybe you'd have some more interesting things to say. That's what I'm gonna do during this playthrough, is exhaust everybody's dialogue. The thing that I probably like most about this game is just the way the world looks. It's so dirty and grimy. But not in a way that looks boring. It's like it's a world that's just on the cusp of an apocalypse.
Is the man dangerous?
Yes, very much so, but no need to fear. He is here to work with our masters.
People say he killed the Empress.
Of course he didn't. People are foolish and believe whatever they're told.
Okay. If the Admiral trusts him, then so will I. The Admiral served in the Navy under the Empress. But something happened with the Lord Regent that drove the Admiral out. If I understand it right. Admiral Havelock made it very clear that we aren't to carry lamps outside.
Why is that? Wait!
Maybe you haven't seen much of it. But the city has changed a great deal after the Empress died. Since the Lord Regent took over, the city watch is best avoided. Most people try not to go outside at all. We can't leave the pub. I've nowhere to go anyway. My apartment was in the flooded district.
Oh, there you are.
Pleased to meet you, Master Corvo. I saw you at court in happier days, but you might not remember. I was once a close ally to the Lord Regent, Hiram Burroughs, back when he was just the spy master. He's one manipulative bastard, I can tell you that.
Manipulation is a sin, I'm sure.
There's something distinguished about you, Corvo. Was there nobility back in your family line? I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh no, I haven't read the comics.
Did you know I'm distant kin to the late Empress in her line? Not close enough, sadly. I'll never be Emperor.
Of course not. Emily's gonna be the Empress.
Most of the nobility went straight over to the Lord Regent's side after the Empress died. Easiest thing to do. But to me, a noble birth requires a sense of loyalty.
Is that why you became a loyalist?
This city has fallen into ruin since the plague struck. These poor weepers moaning and bleeding from the eyes. They say there's no cure for the plague once it advances that far. Terrible.
My furnishings have been installed at last with no small amount of complaining by that antiquated boatman. The others have no idea what it's like to suffer as I have. Speaking of which... Wallace! Please breathe 2 bottles of Dunwall Red, never mind which, and fetch a clean glass. Well, I'll begin again tomorrow.
Hi. What will we do with the drunken whaler? What will we do with the drunken whaler? What will we do with the drunken whaler? Early in the morning. Feed him to the hungry rats for dinner. Feed him to the hungry rats for dinner. Feed him to the hungry rats for dinner. Early in the morning. Way, hey, up she rises. Way, hey, up she rises. Way, hey, up she rises. Early in the morning. Slice his throat with a rusty cleaver. Stuff him in a sack. Throw him over. Way, hey, up she rises early in the morning. Well, that sounds wholesome. Especially that part about slicing somebody's throat with a cleaver. I really like that part.
My, you must be Corvo. I am Lydia, at your service. Your room is upstairs and ready. When they told me who it was, well, I thought you'd be older, like the Admiral.
Sorry to disappoint you.
I'm sorry it's so dark. We can't risk being seen. It is a bit romantic, though, isn't it?
Are you hitting on me?
I used to be the hostess here. Oh, I can tell you stories about that, believe me.
Due to risk of infectious contact. Violators will be taken to the flooded district.
You can call on Cecilia for the more menial tasks. It's what she's suited for.
Can I take that key or
I
what?
hope the bed's to your liking. Let me know if you have trouble sleeping.
Oh, I only have the option to kill her. But I can't take her out non-lethally. That's interesting. You can't choke out your loyalist allies? You can kill them though if you want. Doesn't really matter.
Do not attempt to house or care for a friend or family member who shows signs of blood on their face and chest area. The only way to help them is to bring them to the City Watch. They will be taken to the flooded district for treatment.
A Gaffer's Tale, Volume 2, or A Gaffer's Final Passage. Was this written by Sam? After more than a quarter of a century, I'm done with whaling. Too broken to continue. I've seen all the corners of the Isles, and made more coin than most men see in a lifetime. But it's all gone. I've thrived through an emperor, watched his daughter take the throne. Fair young empress she was, but slain so young. Everything beautiful comes to die. I've eaten in every port of the world, and sailed in the loneliest waters you can imagine. I've seen the cliffs around Pandyssia. Even the best of it doesn't give me an ounce of joy. The years come back across my dreams as a line of butchered bodies. Long, sleek, singing among the waves under the moonlight. Only to be speared by ugly, weathered-scared men who'd knife each other for a good pair of boots. Really? Boots? And not something else like rum? Each year I had less time to come home. My tongue forgot the language of small chatter, and those who lived in the cities thought me odd. My sister Nina hardly knew what to say to me during our visits. When she lost her business, the Lord Regent's crooked barrister, I was 100 miles east of Morley. Gaff hand frozen from the sleet as we tracked the first bull whale we'd seen in months. I helped her as much as I could, but she died in the early days of the plague. None of it mattered. If I'm jaded and bitter, it's because this industry has taken away my dreams. The world has beaten me.